Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today as we are counting down. Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today as we are counting down the days until Hell in the Cell 2016. I honestly don't know if it's going to be headlined by Charlotte going up against Sasha Banks in the Hell in the Cell match, the first ever women's Hell in the Cell battle. It seems like that's the match that they're really pushing the most, and at this time, I wouldn't be surprised if that match goes on last, but as of right now, I would think that Rollins going up against Kevin Owens for the WWE Championship would more than likely be the main event. But WWE always looking to change the game up and show that the women matter and that this isn't the same old Divas division of the past. I can honestly tell you that I'm not so sold on the women's match inside of the Cell, but because of right now, when I put my thoughts together about that match, I turn into a little bit of a negative Nancy. I'm going to talk about Roman Reigns versus Rusev in the other Hell in the Cell match, because at this year's Hell in the Cell 2016, it will be featuring 3 Hell in the Cell matches. I believe that Hell in the Cell 2009, if that was the one that was CM Punk versus Undertaker, DX versus Legacy, and I can't remember what the other match was, but I think there was 3 of them on that show. I think there was three of them, whatever, with the Raw Championship at that time. I think that was in the Hell in the Cell as well, but I could be wrong. But Rusev versus Roman Reigns, honestly, to me, is a feud that never ever really seemed like it was a feud. I know that Roman Reigns is a guy that some people say is having to take a step back right now because of the fact he's not over, to the point where they want him to be the #1 John Cena face of the company. And even though he's been on a 2 to 3 year plan of trying to get him there, they've never really been able to reach that spot with him. And he's sort of taken a step back this year. At SummerSlam, he fought Rusev for the United States Championship. And at that time, I thought that was just because Roman Reigns didn't have a spot on the card. Finn Balor was getting a shot going at Seth Rollins for the new Universal Championship. And you had just gone through the brand split. Dean Ambrose, who was the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, was fighting against Dolph Ziggler. And WWE didn't really have a place for him to put there, so I thought, hey, let's just stick him with there. And then my whole thought about that match was, how are you going to have Roman Reigns beat Rusev at SummerSlam and not take the United States Championship? How are you going to be able to get him through this feud and be able to him not walk out with that lesser-known championship that hasn't really meant something in a long time? John Cena was able to elevate that title to the point where every week on Raw and on SmackDown, we knew we were going to get a good match. We never knew who he was going to face, and it was sort of like the one good thing about what was going to be going down, because there was always that question mark. Will we see a debuting superstar from NXT? Will we see a past returning superstar? What superstar on the roster that hasn't been having a spot get a good match with Cena and maybe resurrect their career? Somebody like Zack Ryder, somebody like Cesaro, somebody like Stardust, even the first United States Open Challenge, Dean Ambrose, the night after WrestleMania 31. Things like that were a big deal. After that, I can't remember what Roman Reigns did, the pay-per-view after SummerSlam. I'm not sure if that's when he was... No, because the suspension was before SummerSlam. Because I remember that when he did his whole, like, I'm giving it up to Finn Balor. Finn Balor's going to get the shot at SummerSlam. And when he's ready, I'm going to come after him because I want that title. I remember that being after his thing. So I'm not sure what he did after SummerSlam. I know that it seemed like there was a long time in between. When he was trying to get in the championship hunt, they were putting him in that match on Raw, where if he beat Rollins, it would be a 3-way at the pay-per-view. I can remember that. And then he ended up not getting it, and people said it was because the Rusev feud was still going. And I was like, how do you still have them feud? They had another match. If they would have done this Hell in the Cell after SummerSlam, when they just went out there and beat the hell out of each other and there was no real match, which I thought was a really good way to get out of the SummerSlam deal, I would understand it. But the best way to put it is these guys are having a Hell in the Cell match because of the fact that they've had a lot of matches, and October is Hell in the Cell month. That's honestly really the only reason why this is going to a Hell in the Cell. Last year, Roman Reigns had a Hell in the Cell match against Bray Wyatt, I honestly don't remember it that well. But I think that was because it was the same night as I was at NXT Aftershock. I had gone to the Rock concert, which I should basically say that I went to the NXT shows 2 days in a row here in Sacramento, because I didn't see any of the bands that were playing unless we were standing in a line and they were on stage, you know, near us. I didn't go to any of the concert stages at all. I just hung out and watched Finn Balor, Baron Corbin, American Alpha. That was badass. That was hard to believe that was a year ago. It seems like forever ago. But I don't know. I would guess the championship's on the line, so I don't pick Roman to win it. So what's the point of having a Hell in a Cell match that he can't win? But maybe somebody will enter the cell, beat the hell out of Roman, and that's the next direction he'll go. But that's not the way that it seems right now. So I've got no clue what's going to happen. It just seems like a wasted opportunity and a wasted match at a pay-per-view that I've never really been able to get into, because it's no real big surprise of somebody saying Hell in the Cell like they did with Undertaker and Triple H for WrestleMania 28. I went bananas. I thought that WrestleMania 28 was going to be the greatest WrestleMania of all time. I couldn't believe that I was going to be able to see a Hell in the Cell match live, and it was going to be at WrestleMania, because I never thought they would do them at two different occurrences, especially with the announcement being so soon after Hell in the Cell actual pay-per-view. So they did it again at WrestleMania 32. It didn't have the same appeal to me. It just sort of seemed, because they do went wham bam, like Vince was like, Shane, you're gonna fight Undertaker at WrestleMania, and it's gonna be in Hell in a Cell. You didn't have a chance to come down from that first. They should have been the next week. Oh yeah, by the way, I thought about the match, and it's gonna be in Hell in a Cell. That's how it's supposed to get done. Well, that's about it. See you guys down the road. Peace out, everybody.